Welcome inside the Midnight Movie Talk studios here on this Thursday. I'm Eric Weber as we get right into the topics du jour on this Thursday night. I almost said Friday. I'm like losing all track of what day it is. I need to get back on the right page. Today is Thursday. Welcome to Midnight Movie Talk. Let's get into something I did today I'm excited about, and I can't wait for you guys to see. I had a chance to shoot with Film Courage. And Film Courage, big YouTube channel, 500,000 subscribers, and had an opportunity to discuss so many different topics across the film landscape, from how I review films to the state of Marvel films to just everything under the sun. And what's going to be fun is when that comes out and it'll get cut up and put into clips, and I think you guys will like it. So that was fun. 4 hours. 4-hour shoot with the Film Courage crew. Great people, had a good time, but I'm exhausted. So tonight, I think Midnight Movie Talk, we're going to go a little bit short because I had that long shoot today. But again, look forward to you guys seeing that. Let's talk about really our top story here tonight. It comes via Variety, and you're looking at The Flash, something we discussed just a few weeks ago here on Midnight Movie Talk, the exclusive about the test screening, about how it went really well. And yes, it did. In fact, now we finally have everybody else jumping on board behind Midnight Movie Talk that breaks stories. And here it is from Variety today. Why they are not going to touch The Flash. Warner Brothers really doesn't have any options. Like we said, you have a finished film that is reportedly very good. So they're like, we're going to leave it alone. And we're just going to give it time. Boy, I swear I said this. I've heard this all before. Where was that? That's right. It was here on Midnight Movie Talk where I said they're not going to touch The Flash. It's going to stay exactly as is because it's done. You're not going to reshoot an entire movie, especially one that reportedly is very good. That's the initial word that we got out of those test screenings from a few weeks ago. So as you look here at the Variety article, I think the thing that we discussed and they're talking about here is that Miller can't seem to stay out of trouble. Ezra is really been his own worst enemy, right, over the past several weeks and months, going all the way back to really the lockdown time where he essentially chokeslammed that woman in a bar. And I can't believe, is that even brought up here? I don't know if it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Attempt. There it is. Okay. I want to make sure that they did. I can imagine if they left that out. But yeah, the two episodes in Hawaii, and then you've got the bar in Iceland where he looks like he's choking the woman. And exactly, it's hardly the kind of attention that a studio wants for the star of a $200 million tent pole. And that's really where we said, listen, if I am at Warner Brothers, I have a person that is like the cleaner. They go and they take care of business, right, on the side. Like, listen, here's what you need to do. Grab Ezra Miller and stick him into witness protection for the next 6 months, actually year, until we get to The Flash. Don't let the guy out of your sight. He can't go anywhere. We can't trust him because you have this $200 million movie and he's the star. And you need him to be refreshed and recharged and stay away from trouble for one full year. And Ezra has not proven that ability to do that. So we are certainly in a very bad spot for Warner Brothers where one more thing, and you're talking about a $200 million movie going down in flames. So that's why Ezra needs to go just disappear like someone who was canceled. Because he's almost at that. He's so close to being canceled, right? So it's like, go into witness protection, come out when the movie is out, and we'll decide how much publicity you're going to do for this. But it's just amazing to me that literally 2 weeks plus after we talked about Flash and how they were not going to reshoot it, here comes Variety, the big bad Variety, writing an entire article out of it. We could have written this article back. That show's there. Go back and listen to it. Said everything that's in this article. That's what we do here, Midnight Movie Talk. Always on the cutting edge, ahead of everybody else. So Flash is going to stay put. Shock. We knew that. This weekend comes Hustle. It's a new Netflix movie. Adam Sandler had a chance to see it last night at the world premiere over in Westwood. LeBron James was there. A ton of NBA players. And we have another situation with a Netflix movie that is frankly not as good as it could have been. And I think those are the worst kind of films to watch. When you see the bones of a film that are there that can be shaped and created in a way that this film is good. And in other words, we forget that it is really forgettable. And that's the problem, is that, Netflix has an issue. It's a major issue, and we're seeing it here with Hustle this weekend. You need stronger leadership at the top. Someone who is capable of coming to the director, and by the way, the director of this film is the same as a wonderful indie film from 2018 called We the Animals. Oh my God, that film, and I believe it's Sandler. He is very talented man, but here I don't see it, and I see almost it feels like Adam Sandler almost took over direction on this film. I wonder. I'd love to know behind the scenes what happened. But at the end of the day, this is a movie about Adam Sandler playing an NBA scout / assistant coach who is tasked with traveling the world and finding that next great player for the NBA. And he comes across this kid who I guess has been in the NBA for a while now, out of Spain, and he's got certainly a look that works for the film, but the problem is that this is cliched. There's so many things that we've seen here before in so many other films. You've got some Moneyball, you've got some Creed / Rocky. It's set in Philadelphia, and you're just watching this going, man, Hustle could have been a better film. I think Ben Foster plays the owner of the 76ers there in Philly, and his character is almost like a comic book villain, like from the 80s. It's laughably bad how he just does things that just don't seem real. They seem absolutely fabricated and inorganic, and that's another reason this film doesn't work as well as it could. It's just a very mediocre script, and I think and it's also overlong. Another issue with how many times do we talk about films being overlong? All the time. And here it is again. So Hustle, it's out this weekend on Netflix. It's very much of a mid movie. Again, I gave it a 7 for watchability, and of course I like basketball, so it works in that realm. But as a film, it's just something you're not going to remember past about moments after you watch it. Let's talk about Top Gun Maverick. This is the second weekend for this film, and when you look at the holds, I mean, look at this over the past few days. Let me pull up the numbers as you look at Tuesday and Wednesday. We have those numbers, midweek numbers. And when you look at what this film is doing, it's doing what we thought it would do. It's holding extremely well. I mean, look at this. You've got the opening weekend, you've got Monday, and then we got Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday at 15.8 and Wednesday at 14.8. Basically, a million off, but these are very strong midweek numbers. I mean, most kids are still in school. They're probably wrapping up this week, and you don't have even all those eyes that could go to see a movie during the matinees. You have some, but you don't have the whole available pie, right? So, but look at these numbers. I mean, you're $30 million midweek for 2 days. So this is going to have another one of these holds that we saw. I compare this film often to The Greatest Showman. And obviously, we're not going to compare them from story standpoint. We're going to compare the two from an audience approval standpoint. Audiences loved The Greatest Showman, and they also adore Top Gun Maverick with that A+ cinema score. Let's look at Greatest Showman, because I was thinking about the numbers that this film did. Let's go back and look at The Greatest Showman. So it comes out back in Christmas of, what year was this? I want to say 17. Let's see here. Give me a second. 17. Christmas 17. Okay, it bled into 18. This is a film that opened at 14 million for the long weekend. That's not right. 14 million. Like, really, the weekend was actually only like 8 million for the 3-day. But then look at the holds after that. It went up. The second weekend went up 76%. That is unheard of, right? And then you have these drops that are just negligible, 11, 9, 14%, 10. That is because the film was loved by audiences, and the same thing is going to happen here with Top Gun Maverick. It's going to have the same kind of situation as we saw with Greatest Showman, is that Maverick and Greatest Showman are going to have those holds because the audiences love it. And listen, Top Gun Maverick is a sensation, as was Greatest Showman. So look for this thing to do another number that is strong. I bet you the hold is like minus 45, minus 50. at the top. That's at the top. I mean, I really think we're even lower. Free Guy was one of those films that did that. It had a hold of like, I think it dropped 40%, maybe even less. And that's because audiences love the film, and that's what this is. So we're going to see this number, and I bet you it's going to be another really, really strong number here coming up on Sunday when we get that final thing here. All right, let's get into the comments here. Again, I told you I did a 4-hour shoot with Film Courage today. And that's man, let me tell you, you sit in a chair, when you see it, if you haven't watched Film Courage, go check out the channel. Chris Gore, one of my good friends out here in Los Angeles, has a number of videos on there that have blown up. We're talking millions of views, where he goes off on Star Wars and woke and all these things. And it's been very popular for the channel. Watch that channel. I did the same thing today with obviously different questions, but you're going to see that coming up. But 4 hours of being peppered with questions, not knowing what they were, and being ready with a semi-coherent answer takes a lot out of you. So I think tonight, again, Midnight Movie Talk going to be nice and tight. But let's get to the comments, and I look forward to you guys seeing that. It's coming up here. I would imagine within the next couple of weeks, you'll see the first little clip of that. We talked about all kinds of things, and I look forward to see what they decide to go with, what the rotation is as they edit, the ones down, the ones they like the most. All right, let's get to it. Carlos, good evening to you first. Yes, you are first. Congrats. You get the random FYC item of the night. Did I not? Oh, here it is. The random FYC item of the night is the Over the Moon screenplay, still sealed. Remember this? The Netflix animated film? There are lots of screenplays and books. Actually, I don't even think this is a screenplay. This is just a book of an illustration book of the film. There it is, Over the Moon. So that was my random FYC item of the night. I forgot to bring that up. There it is. Very, very exciting. I got to start digging I got some crazy stuff that I haven't even seen in years. I got to dig through boxes and find it. All right, let's get to it. Comments again. And again, thank you guys. Like, subscribe, all that stuff here on this Thursday night. Really, really appreciate you guys watching. Again, tight tonight. Tight because I'm exhausted. Oh, Crimes of the Future. Thank you, Trey. Man, that opens tonight, this weekend. Crimes of the Future it does suck. It is a 3 out of 10 for me. It's this much better than Men. And I look at these reviews of Crimes of the Future. I was on Rotten Tomatoes a few moments ago looking around. Hold on, let me pull it up. It is insane what some critics are saying about this film. Because remember what we say all the time. So many critics have a real issue with saying reality versus what they want it to be and or the legacy of who the director is. David Cronenberg has made great films. This is not one of them. Just because David Cronenberg directed this film does not mean it's good. Oh yeah, but trust me, critics do that. A lot of critics do that. You know who they are, like most. It's Cronenberg, so it's got to be good. Remove the Cronenberg nameplate from this and give it to somebody else. It's at 79%. Are you kidding me? 79% of critics like Crimes of the Future. This is how you lose trust for any critic. You lose trust the moment that you recommend Crimes of the Future. You lose trust with almost all of the people that you're speaking to. This movie is for literally an audience of 6 people, including the critic who recommended it. Now I'm fired up. I was going to go short tonight, but Trey, now you've opened. I now have this re-energized. I'm ready to go. Crimes of the Future does suck. It's not a good film, and the fact that it sits here at 80% are 80% of critics recommend this. That's a fail on 99 reviews. This is why people do not like film critics and why they do not trust them, because that's crap. If you recommend this film, you're not a good film critic. I don't care. I don't give a crap. Come after me. You think I'm scared of any of the film critics? That's good. That's funny. Have you seen most film critics? Don't get me started. Don't get me started, okay? I'm not scared of them. 80%. Unreal. Are you kidding me? I can't even at this moment. Okay, that's it. Oh, man, I could go on all night about that. Carlos, again, my first question today. How are you doing? Very good, thank you. Great week. Again, I'm just a little tired because I did that 4-hour Film Courage session today. But I'm very excited to see you guys and your reaction to what I had to say. I have very strong opinions. I mean, hello, you know what I do here. But I think it'll open up doors to a new audience of people that maybe are unfamiliar with what I do, and I think that's going to be exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. Ultimately, you just want to spread the word about the films you love, and I think that the bigger the audience you get and the trust that you earn from your audience is everything. Gone Girl, good evening to you. I think The Flash will be amazing. I agree. I hear it's amazing, and one of the most anticipated movies of next year. Warner Brothers is hoping so. Again, you just got to make sure that you get Ezra Miller into WITSEC. Get him out of here because he cannot be around. He has been making really terrible choices, and you need to put him in, again, seclusion for a year and bring him back out when the movie comes out. Again, does Disney consider Doctor Strange 2 a box office failure? They were expecting $1 billion. We're at, let me look at the number here. I think we're at, what, 8, whatever it is. Hold on for a second. Doctor Strange 2 is at total today, 880. So we're almost at 9. I had it at 925 at the end. So I think we will be looking at about 925. No more than 950. So it's under $1 billion. It's not a fail. But we talked about that today on Film Courage, about the state of Marvel. And Marvel is in trouble. Okay? Not massive trouble. But they need Thor, Love and Thunder to be big. They need it to be good. They need it to bring back everybody on the same page saying this is a great film. Because Doctor Strange is not a great film. It's mid-Marvel. Eternals mid-Marvel. That is 2 Phase 4 films that are mid. Okay? We need something above mid, and that's a lot on Thor, Love and Thunder. We talk about that in our talk today, and you'll see that. I imagine that's going to come up pretty soon on Film Courage. Blockbuster of the year, summer, no question, Nick, is Maverick. Only a few of us actually believe that. You know I did. I know if you saw it, you knew it the second you see it. When you see a film and you know that it is great, it's very easy to call a film because you know your instincts are this film is great, and it is. Gone Girl again. Why do films like Nope have test screenings when their visual effects aren't done? It takes the audience out of the film. I think they know that whatever they get from the test screenings that say this and that about the effects, they're gonna put that aside, and they're going to look for largely the reaction to the story, okay? So going in, people are going to laugh, and they're going to go, oh my God, this is weird without the effects finished. I remember sitting through one that was an animated film. I won't say which one, but I sat through a test screen, an animated film, and literally the back half of the movie was storyboards. It was like, what is going on? There was the dialogue, there was all the voices, and it was literally just like a picture, and then it would switch to another picture, and it was like this. It was bizarre. But you got to know going in that the critiques you have for that you just discard, and you look at the story and the performances. So it's a different process, but they know what they're doing. I mean, they've done enough of these things that they really just want to drill down on the story. Do audiences like the story, the screenplay, the performances? So I think that's the short and long of that. Nick, again, do you think Warner Brothers releases Batgirl before The Flash to get Keaton hype up to an 11? He's going to be all over the marketing, maybe more than Ezra, especially if Ezra gets in trouble again. I mean, first of all, this thing's going to get tabled. It's going to get put further back. It's going to be the film itself will be put in witness protection. That's why you've got to get Ezra out of there, because at this point, if he does one more thing, the film is in ultimate peril. It's already on. That's why they've been pushing it. So we'll see what they do with Batgirl. I mean, there's a lot of decisions to be made about Warner Brothers. Had a lot of positive things to say about Warner Brothers today to Film Courage. So I look forward to that. And I'm sure, here come the Zack Snyder fans. Oh no, I'm scared of them too. Oh, I'm so scared. Come on, get out of here. Again, listen. Look at me. Do you think I'm scared of them? I'm not scared of them. Gone Girl, what movie have you seen at Burbank 16 this weekend? I do not know if I will go. I mean, I've seen Maverick now 2.5 times. I'm going to see it again. I left because I was tired that night. I watched half and then I left. I mean, when you have AMC A-list, you're like, who cares? It will not be Crimes of the Future again. You'd have to pay me a lot of cash to sit through that again. In fact, I don't think there's even, I mean, really, legitimately, you'd have to pay me $500 and I'd sit through Crimes of the Future again. Good luck if you choose that this weekend. But 80% of critics say it's great. I mean, are you kidding me? Look at it's just the best movie ever. Are you 80% Rotten Tomatoes? Oh my God, Crimes of the Future. Critics lose credibility. That's your title of that. That's literally the title of this picture that we're looking at is Critics Lose Credibility with 80% tomato meter. Gotta be kidding me. Hold on. I'm sorry, Lee. I missed this. Box Office Pro is predicting -55. It's going to be better than that for sure. I believe they are incorrect, and I believe I'm right. How many times am I right? Come on, guys. Right? A lot. But listen, if you have a strong opinion and you think you know and you've done it long enough, as I have, you probably are able to guess that this thing is going to have a better hold because you know that there is that perfect word of mouth. A+ cinema score. That means it's going to hold extremely well. Superhero movies, good evening to you on this Thursday. Do you think Multiverse of Madness will hit 900? It will, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's at 880 right now, right? 880, almost 881. It'll hit 900, and then then I think that's pretty much the end of the road. So it really, you wanted to see it at $1 billion, and the reason it's not at $1 billion, there's a bunch of reasons. One is that the film is mid. Okay, that's very important. 2, China and Russia are out. That is a problem. I will concede that. Obviously, those are big markets, so they're both out. So because of that, it's going to be lower. But ultimately, it's word of mouth. Word of mouth is not great on this film, and that's why the film didn't just do that insane multiplier that you were looking for, because it is a mid-Marvel film. Chris Gore is spying on Midnight Movie. Is he out there? I just hope I can live up to what Chris Gore did with Film Courage. Hopefully some of the stuff I say was as edgy. I mean, listen, guys, you know I'm super opinionated, and do you think, as I said to them today, ultimately, to do this and to have an opinion about things, you have to be very strong in your conviction about that. Like Crimes of the Future is not a great film. You have to be very strong and know that you're right on that, because I am. And a lot of people are afraid to say that David Cronenberg or Crimes of the Future, because of all the things that it has going for it. That you got Vigo, you obviously have Kristen Stewart. We can't say it's a bad film, or we can't say it's a dull film, lackluster, flat. You can't say these things because of who's involved. Of course you can. Stick to your guns, and you will be rewarded, because people will eventually go, you're right. I mean, okay, so I told the story today. I'll tell it very quickly. Do you see Defy Bloods back here? I actually love this cover. This is a great FYC cover. I might move it up just because the movie is not great, but the cover is fire, straight fire. I mean, first of all, Rocket Man here is unreal. That is one of my favorite FYC covers. That's why I moved it up a little bit closer so we could see it. But Defy Bloods. Okay, so when Defy Bloods came out, we all had our social reactions ready to go. They have a thing called an embargo, so you're waiting for the green light to say what you can and what you are allowed to say socially about a film. So the social embargo lifts, and I'm sitting on my reaction tweet, and I'm looking at all these tweets that come in about the Five Bloods, and I see masterpiece. I see, oh my God, Spike Lee's done it again, and I'm sitting here, and I'm having this, I'll never forget it, a disconnect where I go, what am I reading? How is it that these people watch The Five Bloods, and I watch The Five Bloods, and they're saying it's a masterpiece, and I'm saying it's horrendously forgettable? This is a film that is absolutely not one of Spike Lee's best films. And ultimately, when you saw what happened to it at the Oscars, okay, listen, I'm not saying it's everything Oscar nomination, but Defy Bloods basically was shut out. Award season, it really fell apart. And that speaks to knowing when you see Defy Bloods that it isn't a great film. And you know it. And everyone else can say it's great, but you know they're wrong. And ultimately, they were wrong. It's not a great film, okay? Be strong in your convictions. Do not back down from anybody when they tell you something. Oh, someone's going to try to drag me. Oh, give me a break. Do you think I've said this so many times. Good luck. Like I care. First of all, you're hiding behind an avatar more than likely. Second of all, look at me. Do you think I give a crap? I got other things I've got in my life. I'm not worried about whether you're going to try to drag me. Give me a break. Sorry, I'm on fire tonight, guys. But you should know by now, don't bother. You're not going to do anything. It's not going to have an effect on me, so don't bother. Lonely Lizard, good evening. Flash and Indiana Jones 5. Which will be the better and does more? I think it'll be the good one because they have established directors behind it. Mangold, yes. I mean, I love Ford Ferrari. And I'm not as high. We said this before. I am not as high on Logan as a lot of you. Not even close. I told you that the villain in Logan is one of the worst villains in CBM history. I would argue maybe the single worst. And so that's a major problem. How can you say it's a great film if you got a bad villain? Indy and JJ with Star Wars. I mean, Mangold, I listen, he's a very, very talented director. But again, Logan is overrated. There's really great elements. But again, villain of Logan. Horrible. Holbrook, the kid. The character is really the issue. It's not his performance. But his performance is like, hey, man, I'm going to go beat up. I'm going to get Logan. I'm going to take him out. Like, what the hell is this? This isn't even, you're not even menacing. It's kind of embarrassing. Here we go. Scott Mendelson, kiss Scott Menzel on your show live. Wait, no, what? This is I can't, I don't know who this is. Los Tangos San Juan. That is a little bit edgy for this, but it is midnight movie talk. But no, that's not going to happen. I hung out with Menzel last night at the Hustle premiere. He liked that movie. I don't know how he loved it. He seemed to really like it. I'm like, wow. Good. You're not going to see Crimes of the Future. Same thing happened to The Northman. Critics said it was phenomenal when in reality it was complete bore fest. Okay, first of all, if you thought The Northman was boring, you go see. Just you need to carve out an hour and 30. Actually, I don't think it's 2 hours. Crimes of the Future. The Northman looks like literally one of the best films ever made compared to Crimes of the Future. So I will give slack to The Northman, even though, yes, I would agree it is not a thrilling film, but it still is, oh my God, Crimes of the Future at 80%. I can't. Critics, you lose your credibility when you do that. There's not a question about that. I don't care. Say what you want about me. I don't care. You're wrong. I know it. Superhero movies. Thor 4 would comfortably hit $1 billion if the Multiverse of Madness finishes with $900 million. I think I called that, no question. Thor 4, Thor Love and Thunder will be $1 billion film and likely the number one film of the summer. Jurassic World is right there. I'm seeing Jurassic World on Monday. Social Reaction coming up on Monday night here on Midnight Movie Talk, which is always interesting. We review the social reviews. That's the way around it. So we'll do that on Monday. But I think it's really going to come down to Thor and Crimes of the Future. Thor and Jurassic World and then Maverick. Those are your three big movies this summer. Nope has a chance. I don't know. We're going to find out about Nope. I'm not saying Nope's going to be the number one, but I think it has a chance to outperform. Elvis is going to do well. Not at a level of Jurassic World or Thor 4, but it'll do better than I think people think. Black Phone is going to outperform as well. We called that the other night, no question. I'm hearing great things about that film. Can't wait to see it. Aaliyah again. Is there a chance The Flash will go straight to HBO Max? No, zero. Not at that price tag. $200 million film. There's no way they're going to get theatrical on it. We talked about that today on Film Courage. I look forward to that whole discussion coming out about theatrical and the importance of it and how it raises the cachet and the stature of your film. Very important. Are you interested in seeing the Siege of Robin Hood movie? No, not at this moment. That can change as we get going, but I think at this point, Robin Hood, I'm like, have we done this so many times? So no. Aaliyah, Crimes of the Future is now in the 70s. Did it just, hold on, I just hit it. I mean, it literally just went up. It was at 79 and it went to 80. Give me 1 second. Okay, you're right, it's going down. It's at 78. So it's still at 78. I mean, at 78%, that's still too high, right? So there it is, 78. So it's gone down 2 in the time we've been doing the stream here, about a half an hour. But it really should be rotten, and it should be at best 50. And really below that number. What a slog. What a bore. And I don't care if it's Cronenberg. It's not a great film. And, I mean, is there anybody... I got to go in here. I'm sorry, guys. I really didn't want to, but I'm going to go in here and see. Did anybody give this like a really high score? B, 8.5 out of 10. B... Okay, it's all 8. There's nothing... Yeah, there's no one above I see a B+. I want to see if anybody... Did anybody actually do an A on this film? Oh my God, please tell me someone did an A. Why is my computer... so I just lost all the reviews. But I don't see anything that's at least an A. Everything is like a B or B-. Again, I would give this film a D, D+. So way off. That's rotten for me, no question about it. But yeah, it's falling. It should fall. And the audience score is going to be horrendous. Oh my God, the audience score is going to be... extremely low. It's going to be a men's situation, right? So once we get that audience score here, when we get the audience score, as you see it, right now there's nothing because it's just opening. But it's going to be the same thing as men. It's going to be a higher tomato meter, and it's going to be a lower audience score. And I think it's going to be a really low audience score. Just like men. Men went down to, what was it, at 40? I was doing those tweets where it just kept going down. I said it's going to drop throughout the weekend. And it did. Again, when I say something's going to happen, it usually does. I'm sorry if that sounds egotistical. I do. In a way, I understand how you think that, but you got to understand, when you have a track record of being right and calling things as they are, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I told you that. There's nothing wrong. You should do that in life. There's nothing wrong with that. Nick, I did not see Only the Brave. I need to see Only the Brave because after I saw Kaczynski and what he did with this film, I need to go back and watch it. It wasn't a big box office hit, I know that. Wasn't a big box office hit. It'll have more eyes on it now that you have Maverick and you have him directing that. Okay, a few more guys. And again, 4 hours of film courage today has me exhausted. We're going to do a half an hour tonight. So we're almost done. Let me see if we get through here. Lightyear releasing after Dominion. We talked about that. There it is, right? Incredibles 2 and Fallen Kingdom the next week went down. That second film is always going to suffer on the heels of something big. It doesn't matter what the films are. It will take a hit. It'll take a massive dent, and that's what's going to happen to Lightyear. On the heels of Jurassic World, people are not going to run back out to theaters, and I'll bet you Lightyear has a subpar opening and then has decent holds because people will wait to see it. They won't rush out to see it like they do a Marvel film. Okay, here we go, JT. Black phone billboard. Yes, it's all over this town, and they are extremely high on this film. Universal is, I know for a fact, JT. So yeah, you're gonna like this thing. Chris Gore, love the show. Thank you. Smash the like button. All that. Yeah, thank you. Also, any Pride Month movie recommendations? Oh, I gotta think on that. Thank you, Chris Gore. But I appreciate Chris is the best. Chris got me hooked up with the Film Courage guys and girls, and it was really a fun night. So I really look forward to it. And by the way, I do want to say, and this is great because this is perfect. We talked about this today. The Raid and the Raid 2, two of the absolute greatest action films ever made, and 100% the best fight scenes ever in history. I mean, you look at The Raid. The Raid is a screening I'll never forget. We were out of our seats. Press was out of their seats screaming at the screen, going, The Raid! And then Raid Redemption, and then Raid Barenthal, whatever it was called. Barenthal's the director. I mean, the actor. But Raid 2 takes the world and just expands the scope, and I think even betters an original. They're not the same, obviously, film, because one is very tight, constrained. It's just all about that building, right? The one building, just like Dredd, very similar, by the way, almost the same movie. And then you go and you look at The Raid 2, which expands the scope. Two of the best action films of all time. Two of my favorite films of all time, if you ask me to list those. All right, couple more and we're done. Superhero movies. Eric, if No Way Home had China, and at $2 billion, yeah, it's at 1.8, I think, right now. So yeah, that's I don't know what's going on with China. I can't answer that question. It does feel like the world. This I'll say, and I think we're gonna wrap it on this, and we'll come back Sunday. Some of these comments I'd love to get to on Sunday. Please save them. I'm gonna wrap it like this tonight. I don't know what's happening, but I think we all are aware right now in the world. If you are paying attention, people are waking up. Take that for whatever you want. And I think people are back in action in full. They are no longer living in fear. And I love that because there's nothing that I can advise you more in life to do than to live your life fearlessly with no regrets. And I think pushing forward, no matter what the narrative tries to sell you, whatever they try to sell you as a narrative, remember that ultimately, it's about you overriding your fear and pushing forward. That's the only way to live a life. And I hope you do that. And I think that's going to wrap it for tonight. We'll be back on Sunday. I am going to bed. I am exhausted. Film Courage is coming soon. It was great. I look forward to you guys seeing it. And again, for all of you who've been around since the beginning of Midnight Movie Talk, sincerely, I appreciate it. And I can't wait to talk to you on Sunday night. And until then, have a great weekend. We'll see you Sunday.